Hello, this is Harbin Light. I simply give a conservative perspective about the world around me. As I like to do in the beginning of the podcast, mention social media and audio platforms. Social media, I will link that in this podcast. And audio platforms, I'm on Pandora, Spotify for podcasters, Overcast. And I'm looking to grow to wherever you enjoy your podcast, I'm on that. So this podcast is featuring female rock artists of the 90s. I'm doing a deep dive into that and doing the talking about and covering the top female rock artists of the 90s. Let's get into this. Number 6, Courtney Love. Hole. One half of the 90s alt-rock couple, Courtney Love fronted the band Hole and achieved mainstream success in the wake of her husband's, Kurt Cobain, unfortunate suicide. With the title album, Live Through This. The band's sophomore release featured Love's dark songwriting and the crunchy, distorted guitars, and on stage, she sported the baby doll dress, Doc Martens boots, and smeared lipstick that embodied the day's kindred whore look. Love ripped through the grunge scene like a hurricane, marrying its prom king and becoming as notorious for her public antics as for her music. And yet, despite the tabloid sensationalism, Live Through This resonated with angst with teenagers across the nation and spawned the hits Doll Parts, Violet, and Miss World. She achieved critical acclaim as an actress in 1997, playing the drug addict wife of the pornographic publisher and The People vs. Larry Flynt, and returned to music with 1998's Celebrity Skin. A departure for grunge, Celebrity Skin featured bigger hooks, narrowed songwriting, slicker production, and 5 co-writers from Billy Corben. Now, this is all according to diffusers. So, about her personality. Despite her unpredicted behavior, Celebrity Skin cemented Love as one of the most important front women of the 90s. Essential tracks: Doll Parts, Malibu, Violet, Miss World, and Celebrity Skin. Number 5, Juliana Hatfield. The Black Babies, Juliana Hatfield, 3. Hailing from Boston, an incredible hotbed of early 90s alternative rock, just so you know, the next entry on our list of the top 10 best female rockers of the 90s is Juliana Hatfield, who made her name with the Black Babies and Juliana Hatfield 3 before embarking on a long solo career. The notoriously shy baby voice singer hit number 1 on the modern rock charts with her hits My Sister and her song Spin the Bottle. Received massive attention when it was included on the Reality Bites soundtrack. To add to this, the video was directed by Ethan Hawke and included appearances by the director himself, Ethan Hawke, and Tanya Donnelly. Hatfield also played guitar on fellow Bostonians' song, The Lemonheads. The hit was It's a Shame About Ray, and she also earned a degree in songwriting from Beantown's revered Berklee College of Music. She she became a staple on TV and even landed a guest part on the quintessential 1990s television show that's entitled My So-Called Life, playing a homeless teenager, Angel, who appears to Claire Danes' mother in a Christmas episode, and Claire Danes herself. She had the fleeting Jeff Buckley as an opening act on one of her mid-90s tour, and was even asked by Sarah McLachlan to perform on the inaugural Lilith Fair, where she was one of the only rock acts on the bill. Essential tracks: My Sister, Spin the Bottle, Universal, Heartbeat. So what are my thought processes of behind the music of both Courtney Love and Juliana Hatfield? I think they're both examples which catapulted for the 90s about expression and liberation and the freedom and everything of the female experience. But to delve deeper into that, I think they showcase the negative effects of that, particularly with feminism and sexual revolution and everything that goes along with that, and not digging down deep and seeing a well-balanced idea about femininity and a real balanced idea about the world around us. And why am I saying this and what I'm talking about? I'm leading towards the ideas of what Courtney Love showcased with her promiscuity and with showboating that, and with her attire, and then with the scandals that went about with her and everything else in her life, and with Juliana Hatfield with her political stance, and particularly with her being a riot girl, but more approachable a riot girl themes with what she showcased in her music. And for those who don't know, or what that all means, or all along the lines of the philosophical parts of being a riot girl, this is what it's about. And so it all started in Olympia, Washington, and the term riot girl stems from Alison Wolfe and Molly Newman, members of the feminist punk band Brat Mobile, I believe, who coined the phrase riot girl. Jen Smith then created the term girl and later riot girl through the expression angry girl binds, devised by Toby Vale. Early participants deliberately used girl instead of girl to remove the passive association with the word girl, as well as to display the anger behind the movement due to the founding women's punk roots and use of shock protest. The public viewed riot girl in a more radical light than other feminist groups. The riot girl movement encouraged females to become more involved in the male-dominated punk scene. In the 1970s, women were generally only considered punk through the association of being a girlfriend of one of the male members of the group. While punk is primarily male-dominated, many women took part in the early punk scene. However, with the advent of hardcore punk in the early 1980s, super masculinity became the norm and women's influences declined. When women began creating their own magazines, fanzines, or zines, they started to share ideas that eventually led to the spreading of the movement nationwide. And because of this, it was the creation of local Riot Girl weekly meetings that eventually turned into national conventions. Now, what is all this meaning? What is all this saying? I think, it's one thing to have ideas and to have liberated ideas, but I think you should also have a well-balanced perspective about things, and not to have such harsh ideas about yourself or about reality within yourself. Okay, yeah, the punk scene, okay, it's is documented and showcased as being a male venue and, being heavily influenced by male singers and all of that nature. But to just respect that, and, they're finding their own respect within themselves, but to be more balanced within finding all that. And then the whole idea of me saying this is with Juliana Hatfield, her political stance against capitalism, and the rage and cry out about that, even now, more so now, and progressively showing throughout the years. Okay, but within that, to see the nuances of life in general. And I think that's a healthy perspective. And I think that protecting and showcasing the beauty and femininity, and to be soft and to be approachable, is a good thing, even though there's a lot of pushback. You should still find the center and unity of the biological appreciation and the biological ideas of the female experience, and to not so much rally and go against the grain about that. This was the Harboring Light. Talk to you soon.